Hello and welcome back to my channel if you've watched my previous video on highest common factors and lowest common multiples. But in this video we're going to go over laws of indices that you're going to need for your GCSE exams. Hopefully by the end of this video you're going to be able to understand and use all of the laws of indices. So let's get started. The first law of indices that we're going to go through is that any number to the power of 0 is always going to be equal to 1. So say you have, 634 to the power of 0, that's going to be equal to 1. 0.783 to the power of 0 is equal to 1. 7 x, x, y cubed to the power of 0 is equal to 1. So any number that you have, if it's raised to the power of 0, is just going to equal 1. The next law that we have is that when you have two numbers that have the same base and you multiply them by each other, their indices are added together to give you your the product of those numbers. So say for example we've got 3 and we're multiplying that by 3 squared. 3 is just 3 to the power of 1. So 3 to the power of 1 times 3 squared would be 3 to the power of 1 plus 2, which would be 3 cubed, which is 27. This makes sense because if you actually write these numbers out, you'd get 3 times 3 twice, so 3 times 3 times 3, which would be 9 times 3, which would give you 27. This doesn't work for numbers that don't have the same base, which is going to be the case for all of the other laws of indices. So if you have 2 to the power of 6 times 7 to the power of 4, you can't add the indices together. They have to be the same base. So for example, if you have 4 to the power of 6 times 4 to the power of 3 is going to give you 4 to the power of 9. Alright, the next law is when you have two numbers of the same base again, when one of the numbers is being divided by the other, you subtract their indices. So if you have 2 to the power of 4 as being divided by 2 cubed, you just get 2 to the 4 minus 3, which is 2 to the power of 1, or just 2. The reason for this is that if you were to actually write it out proper, 2 to the 4 would be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, and 2 cubed would be 2 times 2 times 2. These would cancel out, and these would cancel out, and you're left with just 2. So if you have 3 to the power of 6 divided by 3 to the power of 4, that would give you 3 squared, which is just 9. Right. The next law is when you have a number that is raised to a power and the number and the power are raised to a power themselves, the resulting number is the base of that number and the product of the two indices. So if you have 2 to the power of 6 and that is being raised to the 8th power, you'd have 2 to the power of 6 times 8, which would give you 2 to the 48. If you have 4 to the power of 3 being raised to the 4th power, that would give you 4 to the power of 12. Alright, last one. When you have a number that is being raised to a fractional power, the resulting number is the nth root of the number, so the root of the denominator of the number, and all of that is raised to the power of the numerator. So that means that if, for example, you have 8 to the power of 2/3, the resulting number would be 8 to the cubic root, because 3 is the denominator, as you see here, and then all of that is raised to the second power. So you'd have 2 squared, which would just give you 4. This also means that if you had something like 4 to the power of half, this is the same as just the square root of 4, because this can be written as this, which is just the square root of 4. So that's all of the laws of indices. Yeah, have a go at this question. Pause the video now and have a go at this question. Alright, this is a pretty tough example. This would be at the back of a normal higher GCSE paper. It probably will never come up on a foundation paper. But this is all stuff that we've just gone through. So let's do the top part first. 2 to the 5 times 2 cubed is 2 to the 8. And then at the bottom is 2 to the 8 divided by 2 to the 6. So it's 2 to the 8 minus 6, which is 2 squared. We're told that this is equal to this. So 2 squared is equal to 2 to the x minus 2. And therefore, we can tell that x minus 2 is equal to 2. And so x is equal to 4. Alright, that's the end of the video. If you found this video helpful, please do consider subscribing and leave a like, and I'll see you in the next video.